A very good evening to all my wonderful champions out there. So you know what, today one very sweet thing happened. So I was sitting and I was preparing for the content, and that's when Ankit sir just called me and said that, ma'am, you actually have a great connection with the students out there. And I was so happy, because how did he get to know that? Because my dearest little champions heard me, okay, listen to my whole video, solve the questions out there, put it down in the comment section, and my dear children, the number of comments were N, as in so many people responded to what I was asking in the lecture, okay, responded to the things that I said in the lecture, that if you have completed menstruation, the whole topic, what you have to do, you have to comment it down, and they did it. So we have Putta Raju Karthik, who commented that menstruation all clear. I was so happy to see that. Why? Because I told that if at all you understood a concept, put it down in the comment section, and he did it. It's not necessary. I think at least a few of you might be hearing me say it every single day. But when I see at least one person out there who puts down the comment, I become really, really happy, because I believe that person appreciates what I am doing right over here. And I feel so good. And my dear children, if someone else has to feel that the connection between us is good, it's the whole, gratitude that I have would be directed to you guys who is watching this video, who is responding to me like this. Kudos to all of you. I'm really, really proud of all of you. And not just this particular comment, all the other comments over here. As I said, there are certain children who are very consistent with what they are doing. For example, we have Prajwal, we have Viresh, who gives me answer like in big paragraphs. Listen, it's not about the big paragraphs. I just gave a question, that is, what is difference between menstrual cycle and estrous cycle. Why did I give a question? It is there in the NCERT? No. Okay, they have just mentioned that, okay, there is menstrual cycle, and in non-primates you might have something else. But in PU2 examination, this question comes. This question has come before, my dear children. So I wanted you to do your own research and put it down there. So when you do that, you are obviously reading and putting it down there, so that you will be able to remember. And I am saying it's a good work that both of you guys have done. And not just that, I am seeing new people out there who are ready to join this league. There is Baby Nayak, who said that oxytocin from the maternal pituitary is the correct answer for the last homework question that I gave, and it is absolutely correct as well. So big kudos to you, dear. And also Soumya Matabati also have commented the answer. So I was not able to understand as in which question, but still, you know, this effort which is there, it is pretty huge thing for me. Okay, and we have Gauda. Okay, so this child has put down the answer in my L2 video, that is level number 2 of human reproduction, I suppose. Yes, I saw this comment and I put it down over here, because obviously the past videos also, in that also if you're commenting, I have to appreciate you guys. You are watching that video, right? So I'm truly happy for all of you. Whatever you are doing, you're doing really good, and you're making me really proud of yourselves. You are amazing. Okay, remember that always. And you guys, I'm pretty sure you're gonna rank very good in whatever examination that you are going to give through. Now today we are going to start off with the KCET PYQs for this particular chapter, that is human reproduction. So are you ready for a 60 on 60? Well, if you are, then you have to hear me out carefully. Okay, you have to solve the question by yourselves first, and then you have to rely on me. I'll be showing you the rules and all. So if you talk about the chapter, my dear children, we are on L4. All these things have been completed. The theory part of the chapter has been completed. If you have not watched it, please go and watch it. It is going to benefit you definitely. I'm pretty sure. You can trust me like 100%. Okay. Now PU2, this chapter gives 11 marks. KCET, this chapter gives 3 questions each year. So please be with me. Okay, and over here I have segregated the rounds, okay, for this particular quiz thing that we have. So round 1 is for 2024 question, the questions that gave the other year, not 2024, actually 2025, I always make that mistake. So this year the questions which came from this chapter I have put down there. Round 2 will be numerical based question, if at all it is any. Okay, round 3 is theory based question. If at all you are very thorough with the theory, you will be able to answer it. And round 4 will be diagram based question that have come from this particular chapter. And if you want notes, please join our WhatsApp channel. You will get the notes there. And for children asking me for NEET PYQs, I am going to make the next video on NEET PYQs, and that I hope you are happy. If at all you are happy, do let me know that as well. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. If at all there are not so many audience out there for that particular thing, we might slowly merge KCET and NEET, but we'll try to do something for you guys. Yes, and the next year, can I see you all here? If yes, okay, if yes, then write, ma'am, I will be on the toppers list out there. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? This is an affirmation. This is a manifestation that you should be having, and you should not just type it, okay? Remember, you should only comment it down if you are someone who is going to work really hard for the same thing. So there are children who were a part of our YouTube channel, okay, who studied through our YouTube channel and who have got very great ranks, and you can see it over here, and I'm pretty sure you can be at the same position the next year with even better ranks. We never know. So please do that. Okay, please be consistent with what you are doing. Okay, if at all you're not studying from us, it's okay. Be consistent wherever you are watching the videos, wherever you're studying. Just give you 100% over there. Okay, so the rules that we have is read the question carefully and attempt by yourself first. Okay, so it's not like Jasmine Ma'am will solve the question. You have to pause the video, solve it by yourself, see your answer, and then check the answer with me. Now, in case you got the wrong answer, what you have to do? Note down the question number and attempt it again towards the end. This is how you are going to rewire your brain. Okay, you got the mistake, but you should not be repeating the same mistake again and again. For that, probably you would have to understand the mistake and then revisit to it later on. The last information would be the one that will be stored by your brain. Okay, now no cheating. Please go through all the lecture videos. If needed, you can use 2x speed as well. If you watch the lecture videos, all this rounds become very easy for you guys. So round 1 is 2025 edition. Okay, the questions that came the previous year. Let's see if you can get 3 questions over here correctly. So match the hormone with its site of production, as in where it is produced. HCG and HPL, what does it stand for? Human chorionic gonadotropin and human placental lactogen. Then we have progesterone, then we have androgens, then we have relaxin. So the first thing that I should definitely click in my head is that HCG and HPL, both of them are released by placenta. Okay, so there are 4 hormones released by placenta. These are 2, the other ones are estrogen and progesterone. Now, my dear children, next thing, progesterone is being released by, so over here placenta is already been taken up. So I cannot put placenta back again. Okay, what is the other thing that releases progesterone, my dear children? Do you have any idea? So ma'am, ovary releases progesterone and corpus luteum also releases progesterone. So what will be my answer? Then I have to wait. I cannot randomly put the answer like that. I have to go to relaxin over here. You see, ovary is the one that produces relaxin as well. Okay, so 1 will be going with D. Listen, for relaxin, you don't have any other option. For progesterone, you had 2 options, either ovary or corpus luteum. But for this guy, you just have 1 option, and that is ovary, because ovary is the one that releases relaxin during the later phases of pregnancy. Okay, so that the cervix and every muscles out there, ligaments out there becomes relaxed and the baby can easily move out. Now androgens, so the progesterone goes with what? Corpus luteum automatically, and androgens obviously they go with the Leydig cells. Now if at all this is very difficult for you to solve in this way, what do you have to do? Let's see. So HCG and HPL, you know it's placenta, so A goes with 2. A goes with 2, I just have 1 option like that. Now what about the B option? B is with 3. Okay, cool, it is correct. Okay, C is with 4, just check that. And the D one is with what? 1. In this way also you can do it. If at all you are very sure with your theory part. So your answer becomes what, my dear children? It will be 3. Now with that you got the 1 mark. Now choose the correct sequence of sperm transport during ejaculation. During the ejaculation process, how is the sperm transported? First of all, in every option that you see, it is seminiferous tubule. So you know, seminiferous tubule is a place where the semen is being made. Oh, sorry, not the semen, the sperm is being made. Right. From the seminiferous tubule, where is it transported to? From the seminiferous tubule, first it will be transported to rete testis. Then from rated testis, it says that sperm says, I want to go out of the testis. So who helps in that? Vasa efferentia, E for exit, you can remember like that. It wants to just exit. And then from vasa efferentia, it gets stuck somewhere. It is known as epididymis, where it is stored. Always remember, the place where the sperms are stored is known as epididymis. It is 6 meters long. It is coiled structure which is out there. Now from epididymis, it will be going to what? The vas deferens. With D, you can remember that vas deferens is the one that will take the sperms to a long distance. That is towards the urinary bladder out there. Okay, and then from there, the vas deferens will be joining to form what? The ejaculatory duct. Joining with what? The seminal vesicle, if at all you remember. So this is the way that you have to remember, my dear children. So seminiferous tubules, then rated testis. So we have 3 options like that. So we can just cancel out this option. Okay. Then from rated testis to what? Rated testis to we have, oh my god, my eyes are getting confused. Yeah, rated testis to we have vasa efferentia, then vasa efferentia to epididymis, then vas deferens, then ejaculatory duct. So again 3 will be your answer. Okay, so here and here it is directly epididymis, vasa efferentia is not there. Similarly here also vasa efferentia is not there, which is why this is wrong. Your answer would be 3. Cool. Now select the mismatched pair, first month of pregnancy. Okay, so these are the matches given for each month of pregnancy. You have to tell what is a mismatch, what is a wrong pair. Now my dear children, when I solve this question, you can solve it by yourself and let me know. How do you know? Let me know. 3, answer is this. 4, answer is this. With the question number, you can let me know the answers as well. Okay, so there are chances that I might be seeing the comments out there even in the live session. So this is a premiered video. This is not a live, this is a premiered video, as in it will be just looking like a live session. Okay, so the teacher who is there can also watch this video and can also put down the comments. So please, if at all you wish, you can put your answers, or if at all you have any doubt, you can put that as well. And at the end of this, there will be a scoreboard which you have to fill, depending on the marks that you're gonna get over here. So 2 questions done. So the third question, let's see that. So the first month of pregnancy is where formation of heart occurs. It is correct, it's not a mismatch. Second month of pregnancy, movement of fetus, no baba. Movement of fetus occurs at what? 5th month of pregnancy. This is a wrong statement. Okay, so your answer should be B. So children, what do is they look for B over here, A, B, C, D, but my dearest little children, so this is not D, this is 4th option, and your answer would be this. Okay, second month of pregnancy is where what will you find during the second month of pregnancy? You will find the limb and what? Limbs are generated, digits are there. Yes, so these are the things that you find in the second month of pregnancy. Is there someone who can tell me what happens towards the 5th towards the 5th month of pregnancy completely? So I told about the movement of the fetus, but one more thing happens during the 5th month of pregnancy. Can you tell me that? This will be your homework question 1. Now, 3rd month of pregnancy, formation of most of the major organ system. Yes, but the first month heart, second month limbs and the digits, but the 3rd month most of the organs will be there, your limbs and digits will be there, your heart, all of it is there. Apart from that, external genital organ will also be there. So this is correct. 6th month of pregnancy, eyelids separate and eyelashes are formed. Is it? Yes, eyelids are separated and the eyelashes are also formed, and there will be small hair growth on the body as well. So the only mismatch is the 4th one. Cool. Okay, 4th one as in this option. Now, going ahead with round 2. My dear children, round 2, not through, okay, round 2. So, with this, you understood that with whatever you have studied, you are able to get the 3 marks from this particular chapter. So, don't you feel good about it? Yes, I am able to score good marks, right? Now, the round 2 is based on numerical basis. There are not so many questions out there which came for KCET. There are questions that comes for NEET. So, one question is there, one question I will be framing and showing you. Anyways, let's see. So, in humans, what is the ratio of number of gametes produced from one male primary sex cell to the number of gametes produced from one female primary sex cell, as in from one male primary spermatocyte, how many sperms do you get at the end? And from same thing, from one female primary oocyte, how many ovum do you get at the end? So from 1, my dear children, over here it divides into 2 secondary oocytes, and again it divides into 2 spermatids, and these spermatids, all of them, they transform into what? The spermatozoa. So from 1, how many I am getting? I am getting 4 of them here. But what's the case in the case of oocyte? The one primary oocyte, my dear children, it divides. This is an unequal division. One is the first polar body, and here you have the secondary oocyte. Again a division happens. This is again the second polar body which does not undergo division. This guy only undergoes division, and you get 1 ovum. So from one primary oocyte you get just 1 ovum. So your answer would be 1 over here. So here it is 4, here it is 1. So what is the thing that you have to find out? Ratio of number of gametes produced. So 4 is to 1. Why 4 is to 1? Why 4 first? Because here it's asked about the male first and then the female. That's why. Remember, you have to read the question properly. So your answer would be what? C. 4 is to 1. Cool. Now over here, Jasmine, make the question. So this is the question that I have to make. Suppose, my dear children, the question says that there are 50 primary spermatocyte. Okay, I think I made it solved in the lecture video as well. And there are 50 primary oocyte. Tell me how many number of sperms and how many number of ova do you find over here? How many number of sperms and how many number of ova would you be finding over here in this particular case? Let's begin. Let's begin solving this question. So 50 primary spermatocyte, my dear children, each spermatocyte which is there, primary one, each of them divides into 4, right? So if them 50 of them are there, then 50 of them, if all of them, they have 4 sperms being formed out of it, so it will be what? 200 sperms in total. Agree? And over here it is 50 oocyte, each oocyte, my dear children, gives rise to only 1 ovum out there. So 50 into 1, we just found the ratio, right? So it will be just 50. So your answer would be 200 sperms over here and 50 ovum over here. I hope if this type of question comes through, you will be able to find the answer now. Okay? Cool? Chalo. Now, round 3, theory based questions. Now here you will find n number of questions. I think almost 27 or 30 questions are there. Okay, so let's begin with it. Yeah. So with reference to human sperm, match the list 1 with list 2. So you have to look for the functions of each of them. So head is there, acrosome is there, middle piece is there, tail is there. So I always tell, before going ahead with these options out there, you have to read this particular thing, because it will save a lot of your time later on. So head is there, you have an option filled with enzyme. So yes, in the head region, you have the acrosome and also the haploid nucleus. So this can be the answer. But we know that there is a separate option for acrosome. So we do not have to link it with this. You get it? That is the reason I told you have to read all the options over here first. So head goes with what? It will be just containing the haploid nucleus out there. Okay, so 1 goes with S, 1 goes with S. I have 2 options, which is why I can eliminate the rest of them. Now acrosome, which is there, it is there for filled with enzymes. What enzymes? The hydrolytic enzyme that will help get inside the egg, okay, by cleaving the zona pellucida layer and all of it. So 2 goes with P, I just have 1 option like that, and with that I get my answer. That will be this. 3 goes with Q, contains mitochondria. Yes, middle piece contains the mitochondria, and this mitochondria will be helping in the movement of the tail. And tail is for sperm motility. So your answer is this. Whenever you see most of the options are matching, please look out for the other options as well, and then only go ahead. Don't just say 2 options are there, I'll just eliminate this and I got the answer. No, you have to read through the question properly. Okay? Now, going ahead with the next question. In the female reproductive system, a tiny finger-like structure which lies at the upper junction of 2 labia minora above the urethral opening is called what? In the reproductive system, my dear children, I read it out slowly. There is a tiny finger-like structure. So whenever you get a tiny finger-like structure, just understand you are not talking about vagina, not the hymen, not the mons pubis. It will be what? The clitoris. Clitoris is what? The the erectile, the one that has erectile function in the case of females. So in the case of males, the penis has the erectile function. In the case of females, there's a tiny finger-like structure which is known as clitoris, and clitoris is usually being formed at this particular junction of two. So this is one labia minora, this is another labia minora. At the junction of both of them, you have this finger-like structure which is known as clitoris. So this is labia minora. Above it, you will be having labia majora as well. Okay, so you might have studied it in what, the external genitalia part. I have taught you. If you have not watched it, you can watch it. And my dear children, are you understanding my explanation? If at all you are, what do you have to do? You have to click on the like button right now. Okay, so the male sex accessory ducts include what? Accessory ducts, my dear children, are for what? I'll give you a clue. Accessory ducts, always the ducts are there for transport. They help in providing a road for the transport of the substance. So here it is male sex accessory duct, that means it is helping in the transport of what? These sperms out there. So what are those ducts? Rated testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens. The first answer itself is correct, ma'am, but we have to see the other options. Rated testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis and seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle is an accessory gland, not a duct. A gland is something that provides secretion to the sperm, to provide nutrition to the sperm or probably help in something out there. Okay, so this is a wrong thing. Again, so we have got an idea, so this type of things could be there. So we have to spot them out. So over here, urethra is being mentioned, again something wrong. Okay, and then over here again, seminal vesicle is there, so this option is also wrong. So what is your only correct answer? It will be A. Okay. Now, going ahead with the 9th question out there. From the following table, select the option that correctly characterizes various phases of menstrual cycle. So over here, phases are given, and over here the functions or the things that happen in each of these phases are given. And you have to be very, what do you call, attentive over here, careful over here, because this question is kind of confusing. Okay, and kind of incorrect as well, but it was a PYQ, which is why I have included it over here. So menstruation phase is where what will happen, my dear children? Regeneration of endometrium? No, Baba. Here the endometrium flows down. Menses happens. Matured follicle? Here the follicle starts maturing, but they are not completely mature, right? So what happens? Menses happens. So both of these options would be wrong. So I can delete both these options. I have these two options. Now in follicular phase, you only think what all happens. In follicular phase, the follicles are maturing. That is one thing that can happen. Second thing, the endometrium which is there, it is forming again. It is reforming. Towards the end of the follicular phase, what is happening? LH surge is happening and the ovulation occurs and the corpus luteum is formed. Okay, the corpus luteum is formed. But that is towards the next cycle. So LH surge, until that probably I can put it over here in the follicular phase itself. So developing corpus luteum, that will be in the next one. So this won't be an option. LH surge, can this be an option? Yes, this is almost correct, even though, yeah, it is almost correct, because in the follicular phase itself, towards the end, you have the LH surge and then you have the ovulation during the ovulatory phase. So that phase is not being mentioned over here, you don't have to be worried. So LH surge can be included over here. So I get to know that these two this option is correct, but this is wrong. So anyway, this should be wrong, but I have to look for the last one. Okay, now the luteal phase is where you have development of corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum releases what? Progesterone, and progesterone is there for what? The regeneration of endometrium. Over here follicle maturation is given, so that is wrong obviously. This is the only thing that is correct. So your answer would be what? D. Okay, now if you are not clear with menstruation, what will happen? You will get this question wrong. So watch the video where I am talking about menstruation. It is in part 3. Okay, part 3 of this particular chapter you will find it. Now question number 10. The testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity in the scrotum, as it helps to do what? Why is the testis outside the abdominal cavity within the scrotum? To maintain a low temperature, for storing the sperm, to regulate the hormone secretion, to release the sperm. So yes, to do a lot of things from here and here, B and C as well. But for that, first of all, you have to make the sperm. Yes, you have to make the sperm, you have to make the hormones, and for that what do you need? The first priority is that I want low temperature. So to maintain the low temperature, it is put down outside the abdominal cavity within the scrotum. So your A becomes the answer. Now homework question number 2. How many temperature lesser? This time I want the answer for all of the homeworks that I'm not going to give you a lot of homeworks out there. It's just for your understanding, just for your revision. Okay, I'm giving you questions. So one question I gave, second question I gave, I want you to answer it. So what you can do it, you don't have to put it multiple times if you don't want to do that. Okay, if you want it one way, so you put a comment and you can edit it and put the next one, if at all you want. If you want to add it separately, again add it separately as well. Okay, now going ahead, this is for your understanding. Okay, please understand that all of the homeworks that I'm giving you is for making things better for you guys. Okay, question number 11, identify the odd one from the following. You have to find the odd one out. Infundibulum, fimbriae, isthmus and labia minora. Baba, all of these things are parts of what? Oviduct. So they are one group. Labia minora is a part of external genital organ in the case of females. So this is the odd one out. Your answer is D. Suppose this type of question comes, you'll get the answer, no? Yes. But I am pretty sure my children are the ones who will be answered any question that comes from the NCERT at least, yeah? Now, in which month of gestation the first movements of the fetus and appearance of hair on its head is observed? In which month do you find it? In which month do you find the first movement? So I always say F for first and F for fifth. Okay, so in the 5th month, the first moments of the fetus will be there and there will be tiny hair on the head as well. So I made you remember it in a way that until the 5th month, it was God who was doing everything on his own wish. The child said that I want to move around, I want to dance, and finally in the 5th month, God agreed for that. The first moments, and also he said that he or she said that I want little hair on my head as well. So then little hair on his or her head has also been appeared. This occurs in the 5th month, my dear children. Rest of the options wrong. Okay, so near NCERT, what happens in the 4th month is not mentioned, 8th month is also not mentioned. 1st month it is mentioned that heartbeat can be heard towards the end of it. Now, which of the following hormones is not secreted by human placenta? Progesterone, HCG, FSH, relaxin. What do you think is the answer? So there are 4 hormones released by the placenta. HCG. Ayyo, wait. This question is somewhat wrong. Wait. I'll make the changes over here. Suppose your answer is option is like this. So progesterone, HCG, estrogen and relaxin. Then now, so over here, my dear children, there are 4 hormones being released by the placenta. One is HCG, other is HPL. Then you have estrogen and progesterone. My dear children, estrogen and progesterone are already released by the ovary as well. But when the placenta comes in, it takes up that function as well. So don't be worried. It does that work. Okay, so you have 4 hormones. This hormone, that is relaxin, it is produced by the ovary during the later phase of pregnancy. This is also a hormone that is that is released during pregnancy, but during the later phase of pregnancy. Please remember it. So this is the odd one out. So here also I'll make the change. It is estrogen. It was there in the book. I just copied it and put it. I also didn't see it. But at least we got it before solving it, no? So that means we understand things. Now 14th question. Select the correct path of the flow of milk during breastfeeding, my dear children. So again, about the mammary gland, you should be having an understanding. Yes. So how does it work? So first thing that we have is what? We have mammary lobes. What do we have? We have mammary lobes. How many of them? Almost 15 to 20 mammary lobes we have. And these lobes, my dear children, will be having so many alveoli. This alveoli which is there, it will be opening into mammary tubules. This mammary tubules which is there, it will be opening into what? It will be opening into ducts, mammary ducts, okay. And mammary ducts will be opening into mammary ampulla, and the mammary ampulla will be opening into what? Lactiferous ducts out there. Okay. How do you remember it, ma'am? So I remember it because I have taught it so many times, but there is a way for you to remember it. Dal fell on mat. So in that way also you can remember it. So D, dal. Okay. Ducts, ampulla and lactiferous duct. You can take DAL, and mat. Mat is kind of confusing because you are taking the first word over here, first letter over here from mammary itself. So M, then A, and the last word over here, that is T, mat. So at least you will get an idea, but mostly children get confused over here, A and A. So this is alveoli and ampulla comes later. Okay, in dal you have l word more, so you remember ampulla comes later. So either way you can remember it in your own ways as well. This is just for giving you a trick out there, if at all your memory fails you down at some point. Okay, so what do you have? Mammary tubules, okay. So here starting from mammary tubules, here it is starting from alveoli. Let's see the alveoli one first, because alveoli is there, right? So alveoli, then mammary tubules, then ampulla, directly wrong. Alveoli, then mammary tubules, then mammary duct, then ampulla, then the lactiferous duct. This will be your answer. Okay, what is your answer? It is D, not this. Why not this? Because here tubules, then duct, then tubules, then duct, then ampulla, then lactiferous. Until here it was correct, but alveoli is later. Here also alveoli is later. So this is wrong. Next. Under the influence of oxytocin, which layer of the uterus exhibits strong contractions during parturition, my dear children? What is that thing which undergoes strong contraction under the influence of oxytocin, which is released from the maternal pituitary? So my dear children gave me the answer for this question in the previous video, right? So what is that layer? It is what? It is known as myometrium, the muscular layer. And this myometrium is made up of what muscles? Smooth muscles. And smooth muscles are involuntary, not under our control. So there are certain muscles, for example this, I can do like this. This is under my control. This is known as voluntary muscle. The skeletal muscle is voluntary muscle. Smooth muscles which is there inside our body, they are not voluntary. I cannot control that. Hey food, you should not go down from here. Can I do that? Can you do that? No one can do that, because they are all what? Smooth. They are all involuntary muscles out there. So myometrium is also made of involuntary muscle, that is a smooth muscle. So which is why it exhibits strong contraction under the influence of a hormone, not under our influence. Okay. So all the other options are wrong. Endometrium is the glandular layer. Perimetrium is the outermost layer. Both A and C will both be wrong. So your answer is just B. Now next, when the fallopian tube is blocked at ampullary region, the ovum fails to move from. So fallopian tube, my dear children, how does it look? So we have a tube like this. So this is the infundibulum, right? This is the ampulla, and this part that we have is the isthmus. So what has happened over here? Fallopian tube is blocked at this particular region. At this particular region there is a big block. So the ovum will be failing to move from what to what region? Ovum is produced where? Here in the ovary. This has to be collected and it goes to here. Then from here it goes to the ampulla. From ampulla it goes to the isthmus. So basically, can I say from infundibulum to isthmus or from ovary to isthmus? Either way. So here infundibulum to isthmus is an option. Ovary to ampulla is an option. So ampulla itself is blocked. So obviously from here to here there is no problem. There is no block in infundibulum. So this is not an option. So the only option that is correct would be this. Isthmus to infundibulum, it does not go all the way opposite, my dear children. Isthmus to uterus, again wrong. So you have to know where are all of them located, then only you will be able to remember, you will be able to answer this question. So in between two I's we have a A. You can remember like that. Now infundibulum here and infundibulum here, because infundibulum is big, my dear children, which is why infundibulum term is also big, and this region is also very big. Isthmus is a very narrow region. So the bigger one is towards the end. Okay. Now 17. The nourishing cells in the seminiferous tubules are. So in the seminiferous tubules, what are those cells that will be nourishing, my dear children? Nourishing what? Probably the sperms. So what are those? It is the Sertoli cells. Remember, Sertoli cells are also known as nurse cells, not the follicular cells. Okay, not the Leydig cells. Leydig cells are there for what? Secretion of male sex hormones, which is what? Androgen. Sertoli cells, yes, they are nurse cells. They are there for nourishment. Spermatogonial cells, they are the one that produces these sperms. They are not there for nourishment. So your only answer becomes what? C. Yes. Now, next question. 18th question out there. If in a normal menstruating woman, menses occurs on 5th of April, what will be the expected date of ovulation? So 5th of April, my dear children, what phase has started off? The menstrual phase has started off. Agreed? And then you have the follicular phase, and then you have the ovulation happening, and then you have the luteal phase. Remember, and then you have the next menses. So I always tell that ovulation happens on the 14th day. From whatever day it has started, On the 14th day almost, in a person who has a regular menses, my dear children, on the 14th day it will happen. Next 14 days all this thing will happen, and again menstruation will be beginning up. So the whole cycle 14 plus 14 becomes what? Of 28 days or roughly 29 days. So over here 5 plus 14 would be what? 5 plus 14 is 19. We have to find a day closer to it, if at all that same date is not mentioned. So 10th of April, 18th of April, 29th of April, 14th of April. What is your answer? 18th of April. 5 plus 14 is 19. So 19th nearmost day is what? 18th. Some people go with 29th, and that is why they have put up the option like that. 9. So they think 29. Somehow to just mix up children's brain, they do all these things. So please stay away from all this thing. Okay, choose the correct answer. Be calm. That's all. Now going ahead. The process of conversion of non-motile spermatids into motile spermatozoa is known as, I told you, in the session we studied, right? What do you call this? Aviation. So spermiation, right? Spermiation, is that what you call? Is that what you call? So this is where most of you get things wrong. Okay, please understand, spermiation and spermiogenesis and spermatogenesis is all very, very different. Spermiation is what? When basically the sperms would be moving out. So there the movement is there, here also movement is there, so children get confused, but don't mix up both of these terms. The moment when the sperm would be moving from the seminiferous tubules, that is known as spermiation. Over here you are asked about conversion of something. Change is happening between what? The non-motile spermatids. So spermatids are like kids, they are immature. The small kids, they are immature, and you are converting into mature spermatozoa. This is known as spermiogenesis. Spermatogenesis means the whole process of the formation of sperm. Spermiogenesis is this tiny conversion that is happening over here, and spermiation is removal of sperms from the what? From the seminiferous tubules. So your answer is A. Okay. Next, several mammary ducts join to form a wider structure known as ducts, mammary ducts. Then dal, no, ducts. After ducts you have ampulla. After ampulla you have lactiferous ducts. So your answer would be mammary ampulla. Okay. Don't just study with tricks, always have theory in your head, and then the tricks will be just a helpful source for you guys. Always remember that. Otherwise, tricks might fail you. Now, the signals from parturition process originate from. The signal for the parturition, for the expulsion of the baby from the body, my dear children, occurs or originates from what? From the muscles of the uterus. Is the muscles that comes first into action. The fully developed fetus and the placenta, the placenta itself, hormones of ovaries and the uterus. What is your answer? The fully developed fetus and the placenta. This is your answer. And this is known as fetal ejection reflex. I taught of this in the session. Please go and watch it. Okay, if I explain you over here, it will be very, very long. But just I'll give you a hint. The fully developed fetus will be releasing some hormones which are androgens actually. Respective of being of female or male sex, the child will be releasing some androgens. These androgens are converted to estrogen by the placenta, my dear children. So baby and the placenta both are involved, and this estrogen, what will it do? It will make certain receptors on the muscular layer very, very active. What receptors? Oxytocin receptors. And then when the baby, so receptors are active now, the baby tries to move out. When the baby tries to move out, another group of receptors which are found towards the cervical region, they also become very active. Those are known as stress receptors. And they tell the maternal pituitary, they send a nervous signal to the maternal pituitary and said that please release oxytocin. Please release oxytocin. Oxytocin is released and it will come and bind on what? The receptors already been prepared. Okay, over here it will bind on that, and now the muscular layer will be contracting. So the first fetal ejection reflex comes from the fully developed fetus and also the placenta. It is a neuroendocrinal mechanism. Always remember that as well. So if at all you were not able to understand properly what I said, so those children who were there in the session probably might have understood with what I have said as of now. If you have not understood, I'll request you please go watch it. Otherwise, this video will go so long. Okay. Now, next 22nd question. Which one of the following characters favors the process of normal spermatogenesis in human female? I'll read the question once more. Which one of the following characters favors the process of normal spermatogenesis in human female? Human male. So what is that character that will be helping in the process, in the normal process of spermatogenesis? That is, for the process of spermatogenesis to happen normally, what is the character that is favoring in the male body? So descent of testis into the scrotum. Descent of testis into the scrotum means movement of the testis into the scrotum. So usually I do not know if whether you know it or not. So when we are all babies, my dear children, when the males are babies, the testis is within the body itself, within the abdominal cavity itself. But then later, okay, slowly, while the whole baby is about to move out of the female body, my dear children, at this point of time, the testis would also be descending down, would be moving down into the scrotal sac. So this is known as descent of testis into the scrotum. Some children do not have it being properly done. In that case, you would have to wait for some time, or there are surgical methods as well which helps in that. Okay. So descent of testis into the scrotum is one such feature that is going to help in the normal spermatogenesis. Otherwise, sperms cannot be formed in a temperature like that, right? So this is the actual answer, but let's read the other option. Testis remains in the abdominal cavity. It's very hot. Infection by mumps virus during childhood, array baba, no. Increased scrotal temperature, no. So your only answer becomes A. Okay. Now next say. 23rd, accessory ducts of reproductive system of human female includes what? Again, duct, my dear children. Ducts are the ones that will be transporting what? Either the gamete or the baby, if at all it's a female. Okay. So accessory ducts of the human reproductive system consist of oviduct. Yes, oviduct carries the ovum. Uterus and the vagina. Yes, that will be helping in what? The movement out there. But we have to look for other options as well. Oviduct, ovaries and ovarian ligaments. Ligaments, do they have any role to play? No. Okay, do ovaries have a role to play? They are just primary sex hormones. They should be releasing the what you call the ovum, that's all. So this is again wrong. Here also ovaries and mammary glands is mentioned, again wrong. Ovaries again mentioned over here, that is also wrong. So what is the only answer? Oviduct, uterus and the vagina. A is your answer for this particular question. So in the vagina, in between that comes cervix also. So if at all you get an option like that, do not be worried. It's the same answer. Okay. Now 24th question. In human females, the number of primary just a second. Okay. In human females, the number of primary follicles left in each ovary at puberty is in each ovary towards puberty, how many primary follicles are left behind, my dear children? Remember, there are almost billions of them earlier, but during puberty, when they reach puberty, only 60 to 80,000 would be left in each ovary. So your answer is a direct answer. A direct question from your NCERT, 60,000 to 80,000 is the answer for this particular question. Okay, going ahead. Implantation is influenced by, what do you mean by implantation? Implantation means basically during the embryo formation, the embryo forms to form a fetus, right? During the embryo formation, embryo cannot develop alone. It will need what? The nourishment from the endometrium first, or probably the placenta later on. So for that, it has to go and attach. It has to go near the endometrium, my dear children. So this process where it goes and gets embedded in the endometrium is known as implantation. And what is that something that is going to be influencing implantation? So what is that hormone that influences the implantation process in a positive way or a negative way? So if at all this particular hormone is not there, then implantation might not take place. What is that hormone? FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Progesterone. LH, relaxin. So relaxin towards later phase of pregnancy, wrong. Okay, we just remove it. FSH and LH, my dear children, you have seen that LH surge occurs, corpus luteum is being formed. Okay, at that point of time, FSH and LH are in high amount. Now, when corpus luteum is formed, it produces something very, very important, and that is progesterone. Progesterone is something that maintains the endometrium lining. So, if this progesterone is not there to maintain the endometrium lining, do you think endometrium lining will be there? Don't you think that this will influence the implantation? Yes. But ma'am, FSH and LH first does the surge, that's when all of this happens. So obviously they are very important, no? No. Why I am telling you is that FSH and LH did their part. Corpus luteum is formed. Corpus luteum releases progesterone. That is also true. But later on, the progesterone says that, hey, I do not want FSH and LH to be there. Please stop them. Okay, please stop them. So if at all that is stopped, what will happen? They will tell that corpus luteum, you cannot be there. Because there is a role over here. Listen, FSH, LH, corpus luteum, progesterone. So when the surge happened, graphene follicle ruptured, whatever is left behind is known as corpus luteum, and that is maintained by these guys, especially the LH. Now corpus luteum releases progesterone, progesterone maintains the endometrium. But later on progesterone says that, hey, I don't want you guys to be produced. Okay, I don't want you guys to be produced. But if these guys are not there, do you think corpus luteum can be maintained? No. So in that case, what can be done? What can be done? The only thing is that if at all, by then, ovum and the sperm meets, my dear children, there will be changes in the body and there will be production of a hormone which is known as HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, which takes the place of LH and FSH to maintain the corpus luteum. So these guys are not needed. Okay, it's okay if at all these guys are not there. HCG will maintain this and it will maintain what you call production of progesterone, and this will help in implantation to occur. So even if these guys are there or not there, my dear children, does not matter as of now, because you have someone else to do the same role. So your only answer becomes what? Progesterone. B. Okay. So reason I explained you this question is most of you guys might have a doubt. Now 26th question. The inner cell mass of blastocyst becomes what? First thing, what is blastocyst? It's a stage in the embryo development. Okay, it's a stage in embryo development. In the embryo, my dear children, there is outer cells, outer group of cells which forms a layer that is known as trophoblast, and there is a mass of cells up here. It is known as the inner cell mass, right? So the trophoblast will be helping in the formation of placenta. The inner cell mass is the one, even though this whole thing is known as the stage of an embryo itself, blastocyst stage. Why a cyst stage? Because over here there is a what do you call a hole in between, and this looks like a cyst. Okay, so it's a blastocyst stage itself. It's a what do you call a period of embryo development itself, but still the outer layer is there for forming something else that is known as placenta, and the inner cell mass is fully dedicated to make what? The embryo. That is in the later phase of pregnancy, it will be the one that makes the fetus. Okay, so it is an extra embryonic membrane, no, differentiated into embryo proper, chorionic villi, placenta. So the only answer becomes what? This thing, differentiated into what? The embryo proper. It is the one that will be forming the proper embryo out there. Embryo proper is not the proper embryo, basically is the one that actually makes the embryo. That is what it means. Cool. Chorionic villi is a part of the formation of placenta itself, and that is done by trophoblast, not inner cell mass. Now, okay, choose the correct sequence of events, that occurs in human reproduction. Okay, so this is there in the initial part of the chapter. Even though I didn't give you a brief about it, I can explain it to you now also. Okay, so listen to me carefully. For fertilization to occur, what do you need? You need gametes. And what do you call this formation of gametes as? You have a name to it. The process is known as gametogenesis. Okay, like spermatogenesis, like oogenesis. Okay, both of them are what? Gametogenesis. You are forming the gametes. So gametogenesis comes first. After gametogenesis, my dear children, what will happen? Insemination has to happen. Right, gametes are being formed. The male has to inseminate in the female body, and my dear children, ejaculation will be happening. Insemination means basically within the reproductive tract, you are ejaculating. So this whole process is known as insemination. Okay, so after gametogenesis, insemination happens. Once insemination happens successfully, if at all it is successful, then fertilization will happen. Male and the female gametes fuse together. Okay, this is known as fertilization. Now after fertilization, my dear children, what will happen? The embryo is now formed. In the blastocyst stage it has come. It will now get implanted. Okay, it has now got implanted. Now it will form the fetus. The embryo will form on different stages out there. It will form a fetus. This whole period of the formation of baby is known as what? Gestation period. So after implantation, what do we have? We have gestation. And after gestation, once the baby is fully developed, it will expel out, and this is known as parturition. So once more, together with me, gametogenesis, the insemination, then fertilization. After fertilization, what? Implantation. Yes, after implantation, gestation, and after gestation, parturition. So over here we have to find those options. Gametogenesis, then gestation. Arey baba, only gametes are found and directly gestation has occurred. Gestation is the period when the baby is developing, the embryo is developing, right? So this is wrong. Not the baby, the embryo, okay? Gametogenesis, then insemination, okay? Then gestation, then implantation. First implantation, then gestation, no? It has to get implanted, then it will be continuing. So this is again wrong. Gametogenesis, then fertilization, then implantation. Okay, ma'am, insemination is not there in between this. It's okay. It's okay. Let's leave it, okay? Gametogenesis, then fertilization, then implantation, then gestation, then parturition. Okay? Fine. Because insemination is not put elsewhere. At least it is not just there. It is not put elsewhere, no? So this option is comparatively correct. Gestation, first, wrong. How can you directly form the baby without gamete formation, right? So this is the comparatively correct answer. Even though in between that, obviously insemination should have been there. So this is their tactic to get you the answer wrong. Because in every other option you have put insemination. So automatically you will be someone who will be searching for insemination here also. Okay, but you do not find it, so you randomly question, what do you call, cross this question. So option. So you have to be very careful with the options that you are reading. Children, do you think that this is difficult? Are you able to understand? Please tell me if it's too much for you, okay? Or if you think that you are not able to understand the answers, you can tell me in the comment section. Or if you feel that you are able to understand it completely, you are doing it really, really well, my classes are helping you in good ways, then you can let me know that as well, okay? So please let me know that. I will be really, really happy. Now 28th question. Which one of these is not an accessory gland in male reproductive system? Which one of these is not an accessory gland? So there are three glands. Okay, one is prostrate, seminal vesicle, and bulbourethral. Ma'am, bulbourethral is not mentioned over here. Cowper's is mentioned, no? It's the same thing. Cowper's gland is also, or we can say bulbourethral gland is also known as Cowper's gland. So sorry. Prostate gland, what does it do? It produces calcium and also it produces certain clotting enzymes. Okay. Seminal vesicle, what does it do? It produces fructose. Fructose is something that gives energy to the sperm. Bulbourethral gland is something that will be helping in the lubrication. That means for easy movement of the sperm and everything out there. Calcium and the clotting enzymes are very much important for fertilization process to occur very, very smoothly. Okay, clotting enzymes are very important again for making the sperms not move very much when it is not needed and also to move when it is needed, either way, okay. So all of this secretions together, you call this as seminal plasma. Please remember that also, seminal plasma. Along with it, when the sperm comes, you call this whole thing, sperm plus seminal plasma, you call this as the, it's not working. Over here, I wanted to type this particular thing, that sperm plus seminal plasma gives you what? The semen. So now I hope you know that which is that particular thing which is not a part of the accessory glands of the male reproductive system. It is none other than the Bartholin's gland. Okay, so Bartholin glands is not a part of it. It is present in the female body near the vagina, okay, and towards both the sides of vagina. It's very small in structure and it again helps in lubrication of it, okay. So Bartholin glands is in the female body, not in the male body, which is why this is the odd one out. Now 29th question, the last question of the theory series. The hormone which acts on the Sertoli cells and stimulates the process of spermiogenesis is called. What is that hormone will be acting on the Sertoli cell and further would be helping in the process of what? Spermiogenesis. What is spermiogenesis? I just told you, the conversion of spermatids, the immature non-motile ones, to what? The spermatozoa, that is the mature form of the sperm. This is globular or round in shape. This is not in that shape, my dear children. I hope you remember that. So what is that something that will be telling the Sertoli cells to help in spermiogenesis? It will be, my dear children, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, released by the pituitary glands will be acting on the Sertoli cells, and now the Sertoli cells will be releasing certain factors. Okay, in your book it is written factors, but in actual I taught you what exactly it is known as. If at all you have heard me, let me know in the comment section. This is your homework number 3. Okay, if at all someone is not able to find the answer, I'll put down the answer in the comment section. Okay, so the factors which are released by Sertoli cells are for what? Are for the conversion of spermatids to spermatozoa, and also for the whole spermatogenesis to happen, my dear, but specifically for this thing. Why? What are these factors gonna do? These factors are gonna say that testosterone, the male hormone, can you please stay here because we need you for this particular conversion. So the factors are the ones which holds them tight there for helping in this particular conversion. So your answer is not GnRH. GnRH is released by hypothalamus. Okay, the hypothalamus says the pituitary glands to release this. So your direct thing will be FSH. Okay, is it the androgen? No, androgen is basically testosterone, which is being released by what? The Leydig cell. Just like Sertoli cell releases this particular thing, that is testosterone, Sertoli cells releases factors, right? Similarly, the Leydig cells releases the androgens, that is testosterone, under the influence of a hormone that is known as LH. So LH does this thing, FSH does this particular thing, both of them released by the pituitary glands. So over here you are asked about this particular thing, so your answer would be FSH. Okay? So if at all you have not understood, I'll tell you once more. There is hypothalamus which releases GnRH. This is released by what? Hypothalamus. Now this GnRH goes and acts in the pituitary. The pituitary releases two things. One is FSH. The other one is LH. LH goes and acts on the Leydig cells and produces the androgens. FSH goes and acts on the Sertoli cells and produces the factors. Now the testosterone, when it comes inside the testis, my dear children, not inside the testis, inside the seminiferous tubules, it will be helping in the whole process of spermatogenesis, but specifically this particular thing is also very crucial for the conversion of spermatids to spermatozoa, and that is known as spermiogenesis. So your answer is FSH. Cool? And with that, we have completed round 3 as well. I hope the round 3 well good for you guys. And now we have round 4 where we'll be solving certain PYQs which are diagram based. So let's see that. So the first question that we have over here is identify the hormones A, B and C that are labeled in the given flow chart. A, B and C. With what we have studied right now, you should be able to answer this question. But let's see, even if you're not, I'll help you out. Okay, so the A is GnRH, GnRH is what it says. So is the A GnRH? Yes, it is GnRH. What does GnRH stands for? Gonadotropin releasing hormone. That means there are certain hormones which are known as gonadotropins, and there is something that is helping in the release of these hormones. So hypothalamus releases gonadotropin releasing hormones. It goes and acts on the pituitary. Now the pituitary releases 2 other hormones. One goes acts in the ovary, the other one is there for the testis. In the testis it is helping in androgens. So you know in the testis, what is that something that helps in the process, in the production of androgens? It is a Leydig cell. The Leydig cells, under whose influence do they produce testosterone or anything? It is the LH. In the case of ovary, my dear children, there is some hormone released by the pituitary that is helping in the production of ovum. So what is that particular hormone, my dear children? It will be FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Is it follicle stimulating hormone? Is it follicle stimulating hormone that will be helping in the release of ovum out there? Yes, because the follicles are being generating, it will be helping. In this way, in one thing I want to say you clearly is that here LH can also be the answer. Both the places LH can be the answer, because LH help in what you call the ovulation process and the release of the release of ovum. But if at all LH is not there in your option entry list, over here, option entry, my god, I went to KCET directly. Okay, so over here B, you just have FSH and the other things out there, but not LH. Right, so you can go with FSH over here and LH over here. And what will be your answer then? This will be your answer then. Okay, if at all here androgens were not written, if at all here something else was written such as factors, then what would have been your answer? It would be FSH, because FSH acts on Sertoli cells to release the factors inside the testis itself. Okay, so your answer is C. Now, identifying the cells representing PQRS in the given schematic representation of spermatogenesis. So over here, my dear children, this is PQ. RS, you have to identify what is what. So spermatogenesis has been mentioned over here. So I guess spermatogone is what something they wanted to mention, but somehow they didn't. Okay, so anyways, so spermatogonia undergoes mitosis and differentiation to further form what? What is P? What is P over here? P will be the primary spermatocyte, because from P you get 2 cells, and that would be what? Secondary spermatocytes. From Q you get 4 cells, that will be what? Spermatids, which are globular in shape. Now spermatids what? Transform into spermatozoa. So primary spermatocyte is your P. Primary spermatocyte is your P, and only have one option to state that. And then Q is what? The secondary spermatocyte. R is the spermatid, and then the spermatozoa. So kids come first and then the zoa. Please remember it always. So your answer would be what? B. Okay. Going ahead with the next question. Identify the cells represented as PQRS in the schematic representation of oogenesis shown below and choose the correct option. So over here P is mentioned twice, so I will make it Q. Okay. So what is P, what is Q, what is R, and what is S? Again, what will be the P? The highest one over here. You see lot of divisions have been taking place over here. So you can go the other way around also. This particular cell in oogenesis is going to be ovum. Okay, the counterpart of ovum is what? Second polar body. And who is forming the second polar body and the ovum? It is the secondary oocyte. So your R structure will be what? Secondary oocyte. Your S will be what? The ovum. You can look that way also. So the S is ovum. The S is ovum. Where do you find it? In 2 places. In 2 places the S is ovum. And over here R is secondary oocyte. R is secondary oocyte. Here it is not. So this is wrong. Here R is secondary oocyte. So this might be correct. Let's see. Now Q is primary oocyte. Yes. And then P is what, my dear children? The oogonia. So there is oogonia, mitosis, differentiation. It forms the primary oocyte. It undergoes division, first polar body, and the secondary oocyte is being formed. Again it undergoes division, second polar body, and the ovum is formed. So your answer would be this. So if at all you are confused with this particular part, go from down. Okay, in that way it will be easy for you. So your answer is A. Now the last question of the day, which is, in the given diagram of human sperm, identify the functions of the labeled parts A, B and C. A helps in penetration of sperm into the ovum. So over here look at the diagram properly. A, B and C. So A is towards the acrosome region, that is what they are mentioning, and acrosome has what? The enzymes, and these enzymes are for what? For penetration of the sperms into the ovum. So A helps in penetration of the sperm into the ovum, that is correct. B is what, my dear children? You have to write whatever you found out. So A could be acrosome, B is the mitochondria, and C will be the tail. If you know this now, you will be able to answer this. B helps in movement of the sperm? No. B is not the tail, no. Is B the tail? No. B is what? The mitochondria. So wrong. I don't have to go further. A helps in penetration, correct. B provides energy for the movement. Yes, mitochondria provides energy. And C helps in the movement of the sperm. That is exactly correct. A helps in the movement of the sperm. Okay. B helps in penetration. Is it correct? Movement of the sperm. A, do you think it helps in the movement of the sperm? Again wrong. A provides energy for the movement of the sperm. Again wrong. What do you have? You just have B option. That is the correct one. So over here your answer becomes B. Cool. Does that work? So there are 33 questions altogether, and you have to let me know how much is your actual score from 33. Here should not be any cheating. You have to tell me the actual score. Good or bad, you have to tell me. There is nothing like good and bad now. Okay, good and bad will be coming towards your examination. As of now, it's all trial and error. So it's okay to score not that great. Okay, it's okay to learn better. So please do that now, and I'm pretty sure you are going to ace the examination that you're gonna give. So can you just help me know the scoreboard? Okay, I want to see how many of you have participated, how many of you are seeing that this particular sessions that we are doing is useful for you guys. Yeah, and my dear children, one very important news for you guys. We are launching Menti Quiz. Not exactly Menti Quiz, that is not something that we would name it. So there's a quiz which is very interactive, where there will be leaderboard. Okay, live leaderboard. Here I'm telling you to type, let me know what is your marks and things like that. Not like that. You will be able to know where do you stand in your preparation when the other competitors are also participating live in this session. So we are going to do that, and we want you to participate in that, and it is going to happen tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow towards the evening time it will be happening. I'll be updating you. Okay, there will be updates coming in as in when and where it will be starting off, but tomorrow it will be definitely there. You have to be there. You have to participate. Okay, I want to see all of you all of your names there. I'll be so happy. Okay, so most probably towards 5:30, most probably towards 6, you would be able to finding it. We do not want to change the rhythm of the Sankalp, this particular series that is going on. So we'll try to push it before 6, because at 6 all of the classes it starts off. That is very important for you to attend the theory classes, but we'll find a way. Okay, we'll find a way and we will let you know, and you have to be there. Okay, so wishing you all the best, and thank you so much for playing the quiz with me over here, even though it was not a live quiz. And if at all you like the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and also click on the like button. Wishing you all the best.